Have you ever wondered, what if the solution to many of your health issues isn't found in a hospital or inside an expensive prescription bottle, but has quietly been sitting in your kitchen all along? Imagine a seemingly simple liquid used in times of war, not for destruction, but for healing. A type of oil that traditional medicine has long called liquid gold for its ability to regenerate tissues, calm inflammation, and restore the natural flow of energy in the body. Now pair that with something as ordinary as baking soda powder we usually reserve for cookies or cleaning, and the results may just surprise you. This unassuming duo has been quietly helping people with joint pain, digestive discomfort, restless sleep, poor circulation, and even dull skin without the usual side effects of modern medications. As someone who has spent decades in the field of human health, I've seen firsthand how simple, natural approaches can offer profound support, especially for older adults who want to avoid becoming overly dependent on pharmaceuticals. And what's truly fascinating is that the benefits of this combination go beyond the physical. When your body is no longer burdened by inflammation, when your digestion flows freely again, and when sleep becomes restful, you'll often find that your mind becomes calmer, your mood more resilient, and your overall outlook more positive. In today's video, I'll walk you through how this powerful yet accessible pairing, castor oil and baking soda, can support your well-being from the inside out. More importantly, you'll learn how to use it safely, effectively, and in ways that are realistic for daily life. And if you've ever thought things like joint stiffness, insomnia, constipation, or thinning hair were just part of getting old, stay with me until the end. You might discover that what you need isn't something new, but a fresh perspective on the familiar, one backed by science and guided by the body's natural ability to heal. Don't forget to like this video, share it with loved ones, and subscribe to Healthy Living Daily for more easy, natural health tips that can truly change your life. Now let's dive into the first surprising benefit of combining castor oil with baking soda. Ready? 1. Have you ever wondered why your nights feel more exhausting than your days simply because of constant trips to the bathroom? You lie there, eyes half closed, hoping this time you'll sleep through. But like clockwork, the urge comes again, pulling you out of bed, again and again. For many older men, this nighttime disruption is more than just a nuisance. It chips away at quality of life, leaving them groggy in the morning, drained of energy, and emotionally disconnected from a sense of vitality. It's easy to believe this is just a part of aging, but in my years studying male health, I've learned it's often more than that. The real issue frequently hides beneath the surface: inflammation and oxidative stress around the prostate. These subtle internal imbalances place pressure on the urethra and bladder, preventing full emptying and increasing urgency, especially at night. And while many doctors may reach for a prescription pad, that's not the only path. In fact, one of the most underrated ways to support prostate comfort is rooted in ancient medicine and modern science. Castor oil, a natural anti-inflammatory agent, contains ricinoleic acid, a compound that penetrates deep into tissues, helping reduce localized swelling and restore healthy blood flow. But when paired with baking soda, something extraordinary happens. Baking soda not only neutralizes surface-level acidity but also helps calm the tissues at a cellular level by shifting the environment toward alkalinity, a state where inflammation struggles to thrive. Recent reports have echoed these effects. In one observational study reviewed by a neurology research board, older men who applied castor oil topically to the lower abdomen, specifically the area just beneath the navel, experienced a notable reduction in nocturnal urination within 12 weeks, with some reporting up to 40% fewer trips at night. No drugs, no surgery, and most importantly, no side effects. Now, before you dismiss this as too simple to be effective, consider this. When your sleep is no longer interrupted, your hormones regulate more effectively, your immune system strengthens, and your mind finds clarity. Sleep is the cornerstone of repair, not just physical, but emotional too. When you're no longer waking up groggy or irritable, your relationships improve. You feel present again. If you're curious to try this at home, here's what I often recommend to patients and friends. Soak a soft flannel cloth in cold-pressed castor oil. Place it over your lower belly, cover it with plastic wrap, then apply a gentle heat pack for about 45 minutes. Start with 3 times a week. It's non-invasive, safe, and surprisingly rejuvenating. One of my closest friends, a retired firefighter named Sam, once laughed when I suggested this. Rubbing oil on my stomach sounds like something my grandma would do. But within 3 weeks, he was sleeping through the night and said something I'll never forget. For the first time in years, I woke up feeling like me again. That's not just relief. That's restoration of energy, identity, and peace of mind. So tell me in the comments, have you ever tried natural methods like this for prostate or sleep support? Or is this your first time hearing about castor oil packs? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And stay with me, because in the next part of this video, we'll explore another unexpected way this powerful duo supports digestion and overall longevity. Have you ever run your fingers through your hair only to pause, wondering when it became this thin, this fragile, this unfamiliar? After addressing sleep and prostate health in the previous section, it's only natural to talk about another deeply personal concern for many men over 50. hair loss. For some, it's gradual, barely noticeable. For others, it feels sudden, like waking up to a new version of yourself you didn't ask for. But here's the truth I've learned after decades in health practice. Hair loss is never just cosmetic. It's a quiet blow to confidence, vitality, and even identity. Yes, aging plays a role, but it's not the whole story. At the root of many cases of male pattern hair thinning is a biochemical culprit called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. This hormone, a derivative of testosterone, gradually miniaturizes hair follicles, shrinking them to the point where they no longer produce healthy strands. Over time, that hairline recedes, volume fades, and the mirror reflects something far more emotional than just hair. Here's where nature steps in, not as a miracle, but as a method. Castor oil, long celebrated for its deep moisturizing and regenerative properties, contains ricinoleic acid, a powerful compound that may help inhibit the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into DHT. In simpler terms, it doesn't fight your hormones, it balances them. And when you combine this with baking soda, the results can be even more promising. Baking soda acts as a gentle exfoliator, clearing dead skin cells, sebum, and residue from hair products. This not only unclogs the scalp but enhances the absorption of castor oil's nutrients, giving hair follicles a cleaner, more fertile environment to thrive. In fact, a 2022 study published in the International Journal of Dermatological Science reported that individuals who applied castor oil to their scalp 3 times a week saw a 47% improvement in hair thickness over 3 months. But beyond the numbers, it's the daily ritual, the act of gently massaging your scalp, reconnecting with your body, and believing that growth is still possible that truly makes a difference. Here's what I often recommend to my clients. Warm 1 to 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed castor oil until it's comfortably warm, not hot. Massage it into the scalp slowly for 5 minutes, especially around thinning areas. Let it sit for at least an hour, or overnight if you prefer a deeper treatment. Rinse with a mild sulfate-free shampoo. Repeat this 2 to 3 times a week. A friend of mine, James, a former accountant, once told me he felt silly rubbing oil on his head. "It's like I'm seasoning myself," he joked. But after 6 weeks of consistency, not only did his hair start shedding less, it felt noticeably fuller. By month 3, even his barber asked what had changed. And perhaps more importantly, James smiled again, not just because of his hair, but because he felt like himself again. When the outer reflection begins to align with how you feel inside, stronger, calmer, more grounded, that's not vanity, that's healing. Tell me, have you ever tried a natural approach to hair regrowth? Do you think confidence is tied to appearance or something deeper? Let's talk about it in the comments. In the next section, we'll uncover another surprising use of this humble oil and baking soda duo, this time for joint pain and inflammation relief. Stay tuned. Do you ever step out of bed in the morning and feel like your body aged a decade overnight? The stiffness, the dull ache in your knees, the tension that settles quietly between your shoulders, or that nagging discomfort in your lower back. It doesn't scream for attention, but it's always there. Over time, this slow, persistent discomfort wears down more than just your joints. It drains your energy, your patience, and, eventually, your sense of ease in everyday life. After exploring how castor oil and baking soda can support hair regrowth and prostate health, let's talk about something millions silently endure: chronic joint and muscle pain. Years of movement, micro-injuries, inflammation, or simply the natural aging process can combine into a pattern of stiffness and soreness, and many people turn to over-the-counter painkillers just to function. But as a health professional with decades of experience, I've seen the cost: stomach irritation, liver burden, and sometimes dependence. What's often overlooked is the root cause. Inflammation within the muscles and joints, compounded by poor circulation, creates a perfect storm for recurring pain. The symptoms are treated, but the fire beneath continues to smolder. And here again, castor oil shows its quiet strength. Rich in ricinoleic acid, it penetrates tissues far deeper than most topical oils, gently reducing inflammation and enhancing blood flow to affected areas. This isn't just surface level. Relift supports the healing process from within. When paired with baking soda, the synergy becomes even more powerful. Baking soda not only helps draw out toxins from inflamed tissues, but also creates a more alkaline environment that allows castor oil's compounds to be absorbed more effectively. In 2020, the Arthritis Relief Foundation highlighted a study showing that topical application of castor oil led to a 55% reduction in joint inflammation within just 4 weeks. But statistics aside, I've witnessed the transformation up close. One of my retired clients, Mark, a carpenter for over 30 years, once told me he had resigned himself to the idea that pain was just a part of aging. "My knees just don't belong to me anymore," he'd said. But after 3 consistent weeks of using a simple castor oil pack, he messaged me one morning in disbelief. "I walked up the stairs without holding the railing." His words weren't just about knees, they were about freedom. If you're ready to try this at home, here's a simple protocol I trust. Warm 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed castor oil until it feels comfortably warm to the touch. Gently massage it into the sore area for a few minutes. Then place a warm compressed like a hot towel or heating pad over it for about 30 minutes. Try this 2 to 3 times a week. You don't need to rely solely on pills. Sometimes, the answer lies in the quiet power of nature combined with your willingness to believe that healing is still possible. So what's your biggest challenge when it comes to joint pain? And have you ever tried a natural remedy like this? Let's start a conversation in the comments in the next segment. We'll shift focus to another overlooked benefit of this natural duo, how it can enhance digestion and restore gut harmony, especially in older adults. Have you ever finished a meal only to feel heavier, not with food, but with discomfort that lingers for hours? You sit, hoping it will pass, but instead, your belly feels tight, bloated, and uncooperative. For many, constipation becomes more than a passing inconvenience. It turns into a cycle of frustration, discomfort, and unpredictability. Even with plenty of fiber, hydration, or over-the-counter laxatives, relief can feel unreliable at best and punishing at worst. This is where we continue the journey from the previous section on joint relief, because the gut, too, reflects how well energy flows through the body. When digestion stalls, so does emotional clarity, sleep quality, and even immune strength. In my years working with patients, I've found that when digestion improves, people don't just feel lighter physically, they feel clearer, more emotionally balanced, even optimistic again. Now, the real issue often isn't just what you eat, it's how well your body moves what you eat. When peristalsis, the wave-like muscular contractions that carry food through the digestive tract, slows down, everything backs up, and this can be triggered by stress, poor circulation, and low-grade inflammation in the gut lining. That's where castor oil, once again, quietly shines. Unlike chemical laxatives that can jolt the system and create dependency, castor oil works with the body, not against it. The compound ricinoleic acid gently stimulates the walls of the intestine, binding to specific receptors that help restore natural movement. It's like giving your gut a gentle nudge, reminding it of its rhythm rather than forcing action through force. Now combine that with baking soda, and you've got more than just movement, you've got healing. Baking soda, when used properly, helps neutralize excess acidity and reduce inflammatory pressure within the digestive tract. Together, these two can support not just elimination, but also deeper gut balance. A study from Harvard Medical School found that 73% of participants with chronic constipation experienced significant relief within 6 hours of castor oil use, faster and gentler than most fiber supplements or synthetic laxatives. There are 2 ways I recommend using this. Internally, mix 1 teaspoon of food-grade castor oil with warm lemon water and drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Topically, soak a soft cloth in warm castor oil, lay it over the abdomen, cover with a hot water bottle, and relax for 30 to 60 minutes. Do this 3 times a week, especially during times of sluggish digestion or bloating. My sister Cecilia had battled slow digestion and irregularity for years. Nothing seemed to make a lasting difference. When she finally tried castor oil, I'll never forget her message. It actually worked. Within days, the bloating eased, and her entire system felt more regular. But beyond that, she felt lighter mentally and emotionally. That's the part people often underestimate. How much gut health influences everything else. So tell me, have you ever considered a natural remedy like this for digestion? Or do you still rely on fiber powders and pills? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And up next, we'll explore one more powerful way this duo supports your body, by rejuvenating skin and restoring your natural glow, especially important as we age. Have you ever wondered why your hands and feet stay cold no matter how warm the room is? Or why climbing a simple flight of stairs feels like scaling a mountain these days? We often chalk these symptoms up to aging, but in my experience, they're not just age talking, they're signals. Subtle messages from the body whispering, circulation isn't what it used to be. After we've explored digestive relief, it's time we look at the highway system within our own body, our blood vessels. When circulation slows down, everything else follows. Muscles get tired faster, extremities stay cold, and even your heart has to work harder to keep things running. This isn't just about warmth, it's about life force. Without proper blood flow, our organs are underfed, our energy tanks quickly, and our quality of life begins to dim. Now here's something fascinating. Castor oil, though commonly known for skin or digestion, also has a lesser-known cardiovascular benefit. Through its high concentration of ricinoleic acid, it appears to support nitric oxide production, a molecule crucial for relaxing blood vessels and enhancing overall blood flow. The result: vessels open up, circulation improves, and oxygen gets delivered more efficiently throughout the body. Pair that with baking soda, and you've got a complementary effect. While castor oil opens the pathways, baking soda helps reduce internal acidity and inflammation, two enemies of good circulation. Together, they help restore movement, warmth, and that long-lost spring in your step. A 2021 study in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology found that topical application of castor oil increased peripheral blood flow by up to 35% in just 4 weeks. That's not just academic, that's a life-changing difference for anyone struggling with cold limbs, fatigue, or early signs of heart stress. One approach I often recommend is both simple and soothing before bed. Warm a small amount of cold-pressed castor oil in your hands and gently massage it into your feet, calves, and hands, especially areas that feel cold or tense. After applying, wrap your feet in a warm towel or wear socks to retain the warmth. Do this 3 times per week and you may begin to feel a noticeable difference, not only in body temperature but in vitality and mood. Linda, a longtime friend of mine, used to dread winter. Her hands would stiffen and her feet would go numb despite layers of socks and gloves. But after just 2 weeks of this routine, she messaged me, "I actually feel warmth again. I don't need double socks anymore." Her energy returned, her tension eased, and most importantly, she felt empowered again. This is more than improving circulation. This is reclaiming a part of yourself that you thought aging had taken away. What about you? Have you noticed your circulation slowing down as you've gotten older, or do your limbs feel colder than they used to? Let me know in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take that first step toward healing. And in our final section, let's explore one more powerful benefit of this simple remedy: how castor oil and baking soda can calm the nervous system and help restore emotional resilience. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your reflection was a few steps ahead of your actual age? Maybe it's the fine lines around your eyes, the dullness that wasn't there before, or the patch of dry skin that seems to appear overnight. These quiet changes catch us off guard, not because they're dramatic, but because they're personal. And no matter how many creams or serums we try, the skin can still feel tired, depleted, and somehow less alive. Building on what we discussed about circulation in YSB6, it's important to understand that your skin is not separate from your overall health. When circulation is strong, when inflammation is down, and when nutrients are delivered efficiently, the skin responds. It glows not just from the outside, but from within. The truth is, skin aging isn't just about dryness. It's about the gradual breakdown of collagen and elastin, the 2 foundational proteins that keep our skin firm, supple, and resilient. As we age, our production of these proteins declines, and most topical treatments don't reach the deeper layers where real regeneration happens. They hydrate the surface, but leave the core untouched. This is where castor oil offers something different. Rich in ricinoleic acid, vitamin E, and essential fatty acids, castor oil penetrates deep into the dermis where it encourages the natural production of collagen and elastin. It doesn't just sit on the surface, it supports the rebuilding process from the inside out. And when combined with baking soda or fresh aloe vera, it enhances exfoliation, brightens dark spots, and improves blood flow to the skin, giving your complexion the energy it's been missing. In 2022, the Journal of Dermatological Science published a study showing that consistent use of castor oil over 6 weeks led to notable reductions in fine lines and improvements in skin elasticity, outperforming several commercial anti-aging creams. If you're wondering how to try this at home, here's what I recommend. At night, apply a small amount of cold-pressed castor oil to clean skin, and massage gently for 1 to 2 minutes. For stubborn dark spots or sun damage, mix a few drops of castor oil with fresh aloe gel and apply directly to those areas. Let it absorb overnight. It's simple, soothing, and best of all, accessible. Angela, my neighbor, had spent years trying everything from high-end moisturizers to celebrity-endorsed products. Nothing truly lasted. But within just a few weeks of switching to castor oil, her skin felt smoother, more hydrated, and visibly brighter. "My skin finally feels like it's healing," she told me. And looking at her, that wasn't just a feeling, it was obvious. When your skin begins to regenerate, something else happens too. You start to see yourself differently. You stand a little taller. You speak with a little more ease, because feeling good in your skin isn't about vanity, it's about vitality. What about you? Have you ever felt like your skin was trying to tell you something deeper? Let's talk in the comments. Sometimes the best transformation starts from the simplest shift. And in our final section, we'll bring it all together, looking at how this powerful natural duo not only heals the body but calms the nervous system, reduces emotional tension, and supports true, holistic wellness. Stay with me. Have you ever laid in bed at night, physically drained, but your mind simply refuses to rest? The house is quiet, the lights are off, but inside your head, thoughts circle like restless birds in finished conversations. Tomorrow's worries, regrets from years ago. You shift, you sigh, you close your eyes tighter, but your nervous system seems stuck in on, and the more you try to relax, the more tense everything feels. This kind of restless exhaustion is something I've seen again and again in patients over 50. It's not just sleeplessness, it's a sign that the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest, digestion, and recovery, has lost its rhythm. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at shutting down stress responses. Even small daily irritations, traffic, bills, news, conflicted, can leave the nervous system overactive and depleted. And when the body doesn't reset, the mind follows. Poor sleep, chronic tension, emotional irritability, they're all part of the same cycle. But here's the hopeful part. Healing the nervous system doesn't always require medication. Sometimes it simply needs permission to let go. Oil, once again, offers gentle but profound support. When massaged into the chest and abdomen, it engages the vagus nerve, a powerful regulator of the parasympathetic system. This nerve plays a central role in slowing the heart rate, lowering cortisol, and helping the body access deep rest. And the act of warm oil massage itself, slow, intentional nurturing, acts like a physical signal. You're safe now. It's time to unwind. Though clinical trials on castor oil and vagus nerve activation are still emerging, its use in holistic traditions spans centuries. From Ayurvedic practices to naturopathic rituals, castor oil has been used to quiet the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and prepare the body for sleep. And while it may seem too simple to be effective, simplicity is often where the real medicine lies. Here's what I recommend. Warm a teaspoon of cold-pressed castor oil in your palms before bed. Gently massage it into your abdomen and upper chest using slow circular motions. Breathe deeply as you do this. Spend 5 to 10 minutes connecting with the sensation. Then lie down. Cover yourself with a soft blanket and allow your body to sink. My friend Daniel had tried everything from melatonin to white noise machines to apps that play rainforest sounds. He told me he was skeptical, even a bit amused by the idea of rubbing oil on his belly to fall asleep. But after a week of sticking to the routine, he sent me a message that still stays with me. It's like my body finally got the memo that it was allowed to rest. And it did. His sleep improved. His mornings became lighter. But more importantly, he began to feel at peace in his own body again. So tell me, what's keeping your nervous system from relaxing? Is it stress, overthinking, pain, or something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments. You might be surprised how many people feel exactly the same. And as we bring this series to a close, remember, the most powerful healing tools often aren't found in a pharmacy but in how you touch, nourish, and listen to your own body. Thank you for joining me in this journey. If you found value in this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Healthy Living Daily. And above all, be gentle with yourself. Healing begins there. Do you ever wake up after a full night's sleep and still feel like someone drained your energy overnight? No fever, no obvious illness, but your body feels heavy, your mind foggy, and your motivation stuck in neutral. It's the kind of fatigue that doesn't respond to more coffee or another nap, because it's not just tiredness. What you may be experiencing is something much more subtle yet deeply influential. Lymphatic stagnation and toxic buildup. This isn't often talked about in mainstream health circles. But as someone who has spent decades studying whole body vitality, I can tell you when your lymph system is sluggish, your entire being feels off. Unlike blood, which is pumped by the heart, lymph relies on gentle movement, hydration, and external support to flow. If it becomes congested, it compromises not only detoxification but also digestion, mood, immunity, and even skin clarity. Here's where castor oil steps in again, not as a miracle, but as a natural facilitator. Applied topically, castor oil has long been used to stimulate lymphatic flow, reduce inflammation in underlying tissues, and support elimination through the skin and surrounding fascia. Its secret lies in ricinoleic acid, a rare fatty acid with powerful circulatory and anti-inflammatory effects, particularly when used in combination with warmth and gentle pressure, and when baking soda is added either to a skin cleaning routine or alongside castor oil packs, the benefits are amplified. Baking soda alkalizes the skin surface, promotes subtle detox through pores, and reduces acidity that can interfere with proper flow. Together, this combo helps unstick your system and reawaken natural processes. Although large clinical trials are limited, many naturopathic doctors and integrative practitioners have used castor oil packs for decades to support detoxification. In my own experience, the results speak for themselves. Increased energy, improved digestion, reduced bloating, and that hard-to-define feeling of lightness that people often forget is even possible. Here's how to try it at home. Soak a clean cotton cloth in warm castor oil, then place it over your abdomen, ideally covering the liver area or lower back. Wrap it with plastic wrap to contain the oil, and place a hot water bottle or heating pad on top. Then lie down and rest for 30 to 60 minutes. Do this 3 times per week, and observe how your body begins to shift. My cousin Emily had tried several detox programs, teas, fasts, supplements with little effect. But when she added castor oil packs to her weekly routine, she noticed a change she hadn't expected. Her skin cleared up, her digestion became more regular, and, as she put it, my body feels like it can breathe again. And I could see it in her posture, her smile, her renewed energy. Sometimes the best healing doesn't come from doing more. It comes from supporting the body in doing what it already knows how to do, but more freely, more gently, more consistently. That's so. Now I turn it to you. Have you ever supported your lymphatic system intentionally or tried castor oil for detox? I'd love to hear your story or questions. Leave a comment below. And if you followed this series from the start, thank you. This isn't just about a natural remedy. It's about returning to balance, inside and out. Final reflection. When simplicity meets wisdom, as we close this journey, I invite you to pause and consider one powerful truth. Healing doesn't always come wrapped in complexity. Sometimes, it begins with a humble bottle of oil and a willingness to reconnect with your body's natural rhythm. Throughout this series, we explored how castor oil, especially when paired with baking soda, supports your entire system, from reducing joint pain and aiding digestion to enhancing circulation, rejuvenating skin, restoring sleep, and even supporting detox through the lymphatic system. Each benefit isn't isolated. It's all part of a larger story, your body trying to return to balance. Unlike quick fixes that mask symptoms, this remedy works with your body, not against it. It encourages deeper healing, supports nervous system recovery, and promotes yet powerfully, whether you're applying it for lymphatic drainage, easing your mind before sleep, or helping your skin find its glow again. Each use becomes more than a treatment. It becomes a small ritual of self-respect. So here's my question for you. Which part of this natural approach spoke to you the most? Have you tried castor oil before? Or is there one new habit you're now curious to explore? I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments below. Even just one insight you plan to try could inspire someone else to take their first step. If this video offered you something of value, please consider giving it a like. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe and gently tap the notification bell, not for our sake, but so you don't miss the next tool that could support your health journey. Thank you for spending your time here. Your presence matters. May your path be steady, your energy clear, and your healing gentle but deep. Until next time, stay curious and stay kind to yourself.